I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is.
Boom.
Biddly, 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 but yes, yo. Here we go. There ain't nobody down round here. You know what time it is. Get that badger. In and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. Managed to get him slightly out of the shot there so we can return to the return of the Mac. We can go back to normal. Roger Slicker, I can't stand injustices. Gruev, Struick and Farke all hard done by. Last time I felt so aggrieved was the JKA debacle. Roger Slicker dropping bombs, going backwards and forwards, sometimes good, sometimes maybe shit. Gattuso style. I can never work out whether you're on form, out of form, in form, or, you know, just a top class individual where, you know, form's temporary and class is permanent, as they say. JB Leeds, Jack, can you now understand my anger, mate? You're gonna have to detail it a little bit more, JB, because I'm not too sure as to what you mean. I presume you mean with Dr. Farke and the medics. Because obviously you've been quite vocal over the past few weeks about Dr. Farke, which is absolutely fine, JB. We're all here to communicate. Tim Flowers, number one. The man, the myth, the legend, the goblin. Good man, how's it going? Yes, War Piglet, what's good, big man? Smash a like for us, guys. I don't bang on about it enough. So we had loads of viewings last night. It was a good night on the Underlap. But I didn't bang on about likes enough, so we didn't reach the 100 like mark, which we're trying to smash out the park every single which time. Can't believe I missed Bingate, says Joe Depp. Yes, indeed. I actually, funnily enough, I read that initially and thought, what's that about? And then it's dawned on me what Bingate is all about. I want to do a few shout outs at the start of this live for super chatters last night. Shout out to War Piglet, shout out to MVG, and shout out to Ming. That is War Piglet, MVG and Ming. Yes, Brett, evening, Jackie Boy and crew. What's the crack? The crack is, mate, we're going to discuss this Daniel Farke ban initially a little bit and see what we actually think. I think personally, yes, Mingy, please donate to Jack's bin fund. Joe Depp does enough donating for the scoreboards, doesn't he? So there is actually a game going on, isn't there? In Fack Up, so we can maybe get Joe Depp's scoreboard going on, can't we? Wolves and Liverpool 0-0 at minute. Yes, all boxed up. Hope you're well, sir. You, sir. Very much so, sir. Yes, indeed. I'll be well on Sunday when we put Norwich to the sword, won't we? Leeds United have released a statement online on the website saying this: the Football Association has today released the following statement. Daniel Farke has been sanctioned for misconduct following the Premier League fixture between Leeds United FC and Man City FC on Saturday the 28th of February. It was alleged that the manager entered the field of play at full time to confront the match officials, contrary to Law 12 of the laws of the game. Daniel Farke subsequently admitted the charge against him and accepted the standard one-match suspension and £8,000 fine. Now, fuck the fine. Nobody cares about the fine. £8,000 to these boys is absolutely peanuts, and I'm sure the club probably pay for it anyway in these scenarios. Now, the only reason, because Daniel Farke has spoke about it, and he's sort of said he's disappointed with the fact that he's been banned, you know, and he's disappointed that he got the red card, my man, the doctor. Now, I only think he's accepted it, because he's obviously got the right to appeal. Now, I'm not 100% sure, some of you boys might know in the chat, how the appeal goes. If you appeal it, whether it gets pushed further down the line, I presume it has to, really. If you come out and appealed it, they're not going to be able to, you know, because if you win the appeal, and they've already banned you, then you sort of, well, you shit up against it, aren't you? So they'd have to push the appeal down. You're on bail, aren't you? You're waiting for your, you know, they've hit him with the one-match ban sanction. Now, the only reason I think he's accepted it, genuinely, and he's happy to accept it, I think there's two reasons. I think the first that I'm going to say is less important than the second. So the first I would say is I think he likes the image of himself, which I don't blame him. I think he's very cool, calm, calculated fella. And I think he was on about it a lot, that he's always respected officials and he's 20 years in the game in management and coaching and stuff. He's never been sent off. It's out of his character. He still thinks that the refs, you know, he still didn't apologise for it necessarily. But he still thinks the ref was over the top with him, which I agree. But I also think the main reason why he's just accepted the charge is because, with the greatest respect to Norwich, I didn't realise it would come into action against Norwich. So he's dropped a bit of a blinder, really. Granted, we didn't get the result we wanted against Sunderland, and some would argue if he wasn't on the side of the pitch, we make 15 changes, don't we, throughout the game. Not that that's possible, but you can make 11 changes at the start of the game to the starting lineup, and then 4 after that. You could actually make 16 if you wanted in total. I've lost my train of thought now because I started making a joke. Yeah, I think he's gonna. I thought it'd be a Premier League game, but it's just literally the next game on. So my man, the Dr. Farke, I truly believe has said, look, just accept it. If I push it down line, they're not going to let me off with it anyway, so just take it. And then, we're probably likely to beat Norwich anyway. It's a meaningless game in terms of importance for him. It's like, if you're going to pick a game from now to end of season and sit up in stands, it's Sunday against Norwich, isn't it? Do you agree with that? So I wonder what your thoughts are on it. I wonder, to be honest, I'm slightly torn because I understand that, once the ref's been a dickhead, and I do think he was being a dickhead, he wouldn't even look him in the eye, and have a quick word with him. I don't really know why. I understand that they have to go along with the rulings, and if they've come out and said, if he's been sent off, they can't really go back on that, because then it does get into like this bias life, doesn't it, where like, some teams get away with stuff like, why did Daniel Farke get his red card rescinded and my guy done, and all this stuff, and then we do that as fans, don't we, a lot, in all fairness, about decisions and about stuff, and the fact that it's inconsistent. So if they did sort of appeal it, then it'd have been interesting to find out whether or not they would rescind it. I don't think they would have done, and I think Leeds have taken an educated guess that they wouldn't have done. Now, that being said, I think we can go a bit Sunday League with this on certain occasions, and I think the ref can put his hands up and say, look, I was perhaps a little bit sharp to send him off. Give some examples of managers going over to talk to him, saying, look, it's not anything to do with my relationship with Daniel Farke, because ultimately that is the wrong thing to say as an official, isn't it? If you said, well, Daniel Farke has never said alt wrong to me before. 6-a-side a few months ago, I lost my rag, not with the boys, like in a league 6-a-side, and I booted this gadget, and it was totally out of order. I was well off the ball. It was disgusting, really. I just booted him, and the referee sent me off, put me in the sin bin. Now, he said to me, because I said to him at the end, because he's meant to like ban you and that, and I was like, oh, don't, and he went, to be fair, you'd not done anything wrong for 40 minutes, and then on the 41st minute, I had to send you off. And I was saying to my mates on the way home, I'm like, that's not really how it works, though, is it? You can't, you do have a bit of skin in game, like if you've never been sent off before and then you make a mistake and it's like, somebody goes, fair enough, well, you're not a bad lad or whatever, but not doing anything wrong for 40 minutes or for 40 years and then chinning somebody is out of order, isn't it? You can't just go, well, he's a good man overall, so we'll let him off. But I do think there was a little bit quick to go with it, and I think they could just give examples of other managers constantly going up to the refs. We all know that it happens anyway. I think they could have swept it under the rug a little bit and just gone, look, bit Sunday League about it. I've also been sent off with this lad about a year ago, must have been end of last season, Sunday League, and he sent us both off, and I managed to talk us both back onto the pitch. Now, I'm not suggesting the FA and the refs go down this road, but the ref did let us back on. Now, that being said, I can get raggy, but I'm pretty chilled. I came back on the pitch, relaxed and ready to rekindle the relationship with this fella. And the fella was not feeling the same. Now, the madness of it was that me and him were the ones that were fighting and got sent off together. Got sent off, it all kicked off, and it was me and him got sent off. He had no issue with me. It was how he'd been treated as he was leaving the field of play. So I'm thinking, I just come back on. I've convinced the ref that I'll chat to him. It's fine. I went round, had a chat with him. Arm over his shoulder, like Bosch. Came back round, says, ref, it's fine. He's sorted. Can't remember the lad's name, to be fair. Got back on the pitch, and then he just wanted hell with everyone apart from me. So I went up to him, I was like, mate, just chill out, because we're both going to get sent off again here. Because I thought, what position are you leaving me in? And he said to me, my problem's not with you, mate. It's with these lot. And I was like, oh, well, fuck it then, fair enough. So I'm not saying the refs can go down that, line of inquiry. You can't start just letting people off with absolutely everything. But I do think there's a sensible world that we can live in where they go, look, they all come and talk to us. I was very hasty with the red card. It was my fault. I would like to rescind my own red card. Do you feel me? And I can't see. I actually think, especially with all the heat VAR are getting, all the heat the refs are getting, all the officials getting shit, the linesmen, the fourth officials, even when at Man City, when Farke, was apparently talking to the fourth official and he assured him minutes would be added on. There's no communication, there's no back and forth. They're trying to steady everything, and I believe they've lost total control. So I do think it would help. It would be a bit of an olive branch out to general fan bases to think. I don't know many fans, and I know everybody hates us, and I'm bang up for it, but I don't know many fans that have seen that and gone, oh, what's Farke, what's he actually done here? He didn't apologise, that being said. He did say he'd never run on a football pitch again, which I thought was quite funny, but he was quite jovial about the whole thing. He did say that if the ref had said to him, look, I'm not talking to you, Farke would have accepted that. This is all hindsight, but it was very, very quick to give the red, wasn't it? Do you deny that? What are your thoughts? Indeed, a good win approaches at the weekend, says All Boxed Up, and you know it, my brother. We are going to smash them up. It'd be good, genuinely. I wanted to get, normally after a loss, and I'm not classing, as ridiculous as this sounds, I'm not classing the Man City game as necessarily a loss, which is a ludicrous thing to say because we got beat. But my point being, we went in, you go into the Sunderland game and there was an expectation there for us to beat them, even though everybody's telling me all year how mint Sunderland are. So I would have liked to have got back on the horse, really, gone straight back in. Who is it? Palace we've got next. I would have quite liked to go straight back in. But shit is as shit does, and we're up against Norwich, which is a very winnable game, obviously. We're at home. I think you'll field a relatively strong squad. Certainly a strong squad. Whether the starting lineup, I do think there'll still be changes in it. People don't want him to risk Goodmanson. People don't want him to risk Calvert-Lewin and all that stuff. I don't think he will. He might go with Goodmanson, to be fair, but I don't think he will. I think he'll go. He might even go 4 at back. He might even go back to 4-3-3. He might play Dan James, Nonto, Metcher up top in that 3. He might go Longstaff, Ampadu. I think Ampadu probably still starts. Tanaka will get a game, won't he? Looking at the centre backs, it would probably be Biol. You can make changes because with you, even if he went Biol and Ball now, I don't think he'll go 5 at the back. That's just my guess. Because I think he's going to have a look at different options that he's got. What are your thoughts on formation? We'll poll that up. We'll need to do a quick poll, don't we, for AO? So we'll poll, can the ref say I made a mistake without there being uproar everywhere? Yes or no? Let's get through some chat here. Yes, Roger Slicker, what's good, my brother? Smash me a like, Roger. You better be liking this video, my old muck. Yes, indeed, I am off on Sunday, and I'm not able to sit in my usual seat. I'm 2 seats over, which will do my head in. It'll do my head in. I love my seat. War Piglet says, yes, it is a conspiracy. Appeal would be about Palace. Yes, so it'd get knocked down the line, wouldn't it? Roger Slicker, this 8,000 fine, is it gross or net? I can't remember which is which, Roger Slicker, but I won't imagine anybody's making much money on it. I think it's all loss. Richard Todd, Farke has been on a diet so he can float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. It's a fucking joke, Jack. Yes, Richard Todd. It's ridiculous, and I do think he got his anger up. When you actually watch the footage, it looks worse because he gets in a bit of a tiz, doesn't he? And he does get raggy, and you can, you're pulling on people's strings at you rather than just going, whoa, like fucking back up, do not do this here, we'll talk after or whatever, But just to be like, red card and then not look at him, it's like, bitch behaviour. Referee the game, mate. Brett, I bet Farke wishes he chinned the ref now that he's got the ban. Well, I think, to be fair, had he chinned him, Brett, even though I'm on board with him, he needs a good chinning. Chin, Giroux. The ban would have been significantly worse than a 1 game, wouldn't it? Palace or Norwich, the decision. Yes, indeed, Ming. Oh, I see. That's what you're saying as well, isn't it, War Piglet? Yeah, it'd have been Palace. Riggers Ramblings had a poll. I don't know who that is. FA Cup or League Survival, or bin FA Cup and concentrate on the league. Only 75% said bin the FA Cup. Well, we're going to poll it up ourselves in here, Roger. And we're going to find out who actually thinks if you have an FA Cup run, it means instant relegation. Because I do think there's an idea that it's instant relegation for some reason. Like, if I could pick an FA Cup win or relegate, it's like, what does that even mean? I don't know what that... So do you think it's good for us to go into the Norwich game and get beat by Norwich? Can we put out a second string side and beat Norwich? Would that be good? Is that possible? You know, get a little bit of momentum back going and back to winning ways. You know, see if we can get a bit of a lucky draw. See if we can end up at Wembley. Come on, let's live a little, boys. I saw somebody comment on Farke's video earlier saying the FA Cup's for next season. No, it isn't. The FA Cup's for this season. What are we on about next season for? We're not. If we go out on Norwich, it does not guarantee our survival. If we beat Norwich, it does not guarantee our demise. Don't work like that. It's a lot of woof. So what if people go, well, I kind of want to win, but I don't want to win. You know what I mean? I'll take it losing. Like, where's that energy when you get beat to Man City and then you get unlucky against Sunderland? Where's that energy where you go, well, you know, these things happen. You know, I'm bothered, but I'm not too bothered. Where's that energy go? But when it's FA Cup, you want to get beat to Derby, Birmingham or Norwich. See ya! No, you don't. SST, Farke needs to get control of his on-pitch violence. Sprinting at that wanky-looking referee must have scared the poor lamb to death. Yes, agreed, SST, absolutely. He put right shitter up him, didn't he? Richard Toddy can sit back in a comfy chair with some coffee and cake and watch his old team against his new team. Yes, indeed, Richard Todd. And watch us put him to the sword. He'll just be on walkie-talkie, won't he, my guy? Hummers 11, you're an absolute G, mate. If you don't know by now, you never knew. Every time, Hummers 11. Appreciate you, brother. 12:30 p.m. in the US. We've gone global, baby. I'm ringing me mum. Get up, Hummers 11. Appreciate you. Mint name, mint number, mint man. The dollar bill man. I need a dollar, and Hummers is what I need. Appreciate you, Hummers. Yes, Mingy, A up, Hummers. Shout out to Hummers one more time. I'll do it a few more times, actually. Jack meaning with Farke and the team. The performances. It's not good enough, pal. Ampadu was a disgrace. Why there was no need to flick the ball off his arm. No excuse, mate. It cost us. These individual mistakes obviously do occur, JB Leeds. I would have to say that Ampadu's been one of the best signings of recent history. I can't think of many signings other than like Rafinha, and that's going back some years. Potentially Rutter, who took a year, you know, to get going, and it was in the Championship. I can't think of many signings that have been quite at the level of Ampadu, and that the guy that I'd back, you know, to the nth degree to stay with the club and build the club around him. I think he's got the right ethos. I think he's Leeds United through and through. So I'd be reluctant to call him out too harshly on a bit of a ridiculous decision to flail his arm out. I think I agree with what Farke said, where it's like it was an impulsive thing to do. It's a silly thing to do. He did it. Are we with him or are we against him? Are we going to allow that mistake and allow all the things that sort of, you know, the fact he drags us through games and, you know, changes games and is aggressive and never backs out, never shirks out, never pulls out of a challenge. He's my guy, Ethan Ampadu. So giving away a penalty, I prefer it if he doesn't do it again. But ultimately, like I said, if you're going around and you're not taking your chances, you're not creating many chances, you're not moving the ball quickly against a team like Sunderland, when they come to upset, you end up getting beat with a silly mistake in your own box, don't you? They cause no problems. Then you want your players like Darlow to pull Ampadu out, you know, out at shit, and then obviously just the bloke's a ghost and it goes straight through him. So as much as I agree there's no excuse, I don't think Ampadu's the type of gadget to make an excuse. I think he's the type of guy to go, yeah, that is my fault. Where do we go next? Yes, AO, appreciate you, brother. Smash a like. We've got 35 in the room and only 29 likes, AO. So let's get them likes up, baby. Let's keep moving and grooving. AO, were you on last night's live? I don't recall you in the chat. AO's always floating about, Roger, and you know it. Geez, Jack, you ain't stopped that jaw muster. I know, man. I've never spoke more, Joe, in the past 2 weeks than in my whole life, to be honest, doing these lives. So I don't know what's wrong with me. I go out and I'm like in a fucking coma. I just can't speak. But I'm wide awake. They get me a bit wazzed. Get me a bit razzled, these things. Too much common sense, that Jack says. Mingy, appreciate you, Ming. You know how we roll, don't you, Mingy, my baby? Do. Has been pushing the pineapple too much. So obvious. I don't know what that means. I'm Googling that. Has been pushing the pineapple. Does that mean you've been on sesh? Or does that mean you're gay or something? Pineapple. He's been pushing the pineapple. A phrase that refers to Dean Michael, the former singer, still pushing pineapples. title is a direct reference. Agadoo, specifically the line, push pineapple, shake the tree. I don't get it, SST, but I love it regardless. Mate, don't believe we can always blame the ref. That performance was disgraceful, mate, by us. I'm not blaming the ref, JB. I'm the last one to blame the ref. The ref, I thought, was absolutely shockingly shite. And I think they have been for a couple of games. But I am not the man that blames the refs. There's an hour-long video of me moaning about that Sunderland game. Maybe an hour and 20 minutes of me moaning about the Sunderland game. So it's certainly not, check the channel, mate. There's, I don't know what... There'll be a bit of ref ball baggery, but if something comes up, it must come out. We can discuss the ref, can't we, while being rational about the side and not digging players like Ampadu up. Thought the ref were terrible. I thought us as a football team did nowhere near enough. What do you want from me? I'm with you, JB. I'm with you all the way, but you got to help me out. A sensible place to live in. Get in the JackCity swing bin. Love it, War Piglet. Appreciate you, my brother. Thought it was a good touch by Ampadu's arm. It certainly was for you, Brett. Yes, indeed. You stay loose, Brett. There's only so much I can for before migraines kick in, and after time out to simply listen to live streams or videos. My guy, migraines are a mother flucker. That much I can confirm. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Brett's on the wrong side of history, though. Hey, JB. Yes, the poll. How's the poll going? 55% have said yes. The ref can say he made a mistake without there being an uproar out of 22 votes. So pretty split, to be fair. So we'll go with that. I can't remember what the other poll was meant to be, but I did want to discuss that. It where Roger Slicker said something, I believe. Let me try find it. Yes. FA Cup run. Does an FA Cup run end in relegation? Because that is literally, I don't know how else to say it. This like or relegated or FA Cup run is a madness to me. So do you think it ends in relegation if we have an FA Cup run? Crazy. Jack, biases besides, wouldn't it be biases aside? I don't know. I'm not the linguist, but why don't you ever berate Farke's negative starting 11s? I don't know what I said in my hour-long thing after the game. I've said, I think the difference between me and thee, Roger Slicker, is I will talk about his starting lineup without, and sort of perhaps I see what he's doing and the fact that Gruev actually does offer up certain things. Like I said, I would have made a change at half-time. Longstaff's my best mate. I would much rather Longstaff and Ampadu control that centre midfield with Stack pushing on a little bit further forward. I'd much rather that. In my head, I'd much rather Tanaka, but I'm not. If it picks Gruev, there is a reason for it. And like I say, I tend to when we've been playing well, when we've been performing, which we have. Everybody knew this would be a difficult long season. We've had one blip, getting beat to Man City is not a blip. And we have an opportunity to not have a second blip here and come out of it and beat Crystal Palace, well, beat Norwich, get going in FA Cup, and then beat Crystal Palace, and then we're rocking and rolling then. No blip. Getting beat Sunderland is not a blip. It's a flash in the pan. It's a result. It's a result that's gone against us. It's the only time I've left down the road frustrated. So it's not that I'm unwilling to berate his starting 11s. I'm unwilling to berate his decisions when he's made so many good decisions over this season, in my opinion. Other people are more than welcome to have the opinion otherwise. My opinion is that he's doing a splendid job, and I actually think he's up against it. And I think there's a lot of loud fans that can really, take serious effect upon him. And I'm not willing to prostitute my opinion or my thought process, whether I'm biased or not. Of course I'm biased. I'm a Leeds United fan. I'm unbelievably biased. That's evident. But if the going gets tough and Farke is not the man, I will say it. But I'm not just going to be the first to say it for the sake of saying it so the YouTube clip goes up and everybody goes on people's channels and starts sucking the guy off because he's said, well, I'm Farke out and always have been. It's like, that's fine, but I'm not. That's not how I think. So I'm not going to say that. It would be tremendous for me to say that. It would work wonders. But I think my channel would be a sack of shit. I don't want it like that. This is not a media channel. We do not do this for any other reason than to come on and chat some shit on a Thursday night, literal shit, and then through the week and over the weekend, shit about football. So I'm not willing to prostitute myself for the sake of some chronic masturbators and internet and keyboard warriors to tell me how to control my Twitter or control my YouTube channel. Is none of their business, boy. I hope that answers your question, Roger. The FA charge, yes, Kieran Grennan, what's good, big man, is a complete joke. Hopefully Farke walks around the pitch to applaud the fans after the game just to take the piss out of this nonsense. It's a madness. I hope he's literally on blower to assistant manager the whole way through. Or can't we get him like a seat, you know, like with the boyos right behind the, you know, like, you know, where the tunnel is, you know, when like players like lean over and like, you know, fans are like leaning down for high fives and that for players. Can't we just get him right up against that and then just get assistant to just stand next to him and then just, you know, just be in his ear? I don't know if there's like a certain position you have to go and sit in when you're relegated to the stands. Do you know what I mean? I'm just hoping, I'd love it if he cracked open a can of lager or something and just thought, I'm enjoying this with boys, and then he's in stadium, in stand at half time, just having a fucking shit pint of lager that you've got to wait 25 minutes for. Courage binge drinking. All boxed up. Ref. I think not, as it just fuels a fire if refs said they were wrong. I just think it'd be a stand-up thing to do, though, all boxed up. I agree it would be difficult for them to do. I know that, you know, once the rules have been enforced, they have to pretend that, you know, they can't go back on it. But I do think there's a world that we can live in where everybody would be a little bit more accepting and not, this is what I'm saying, not just acquiesce to some dickheads that are really, really loud about everything, moaning about everything all the time. Just go, well, I do think most people in pub are pretty chilled about stuff, and they'd go, well, you know, they did send Farke off, but, you know, and I mean that for any manager. If Pep goes over, Pep's always going over, going mental, and they don't send him off. If they sent him off and says, oh, well, we've made a mistake or whatever, like, you know, I didn't look at the footage, I didn't even make eye contact with him, I had dealt with it wrong. I do think there's a world where if you keep doing that and you stand up to the ball bags that are really loud and never fucking shut up, the whole world will change. You just got to say what you actually think every now and again, you know, and just be like, well, I'm willing to take the storm a little bit. I'm willing to take the heat, because if I don't, nobody will. And then we end up in this shit show that we're in, where we're all like, you know, pitted against the refs and against VAR, and everything's turned to shit and they've lost total control. And I do think it's because they won't make decisions that they'll get short-term shit for. And now they've ended up in a scenario where they can't win and they're getting long-term shit and they can't get out of it. They're gonna have to do something radical to the league. It can't carry on like this. And this idea that time wasting and gamesmanship and shithousery has gone on for a long time, it certainly has, but it has not been as bad as I've seen in the past few weeks. People are literally taking the piss. It used to be a bit of gamesmanship where I'd see the bright side of life in it and think it's quite funny, or it's like, you know, he's clearly on the wind up, or he's clearly doing this, but it's become part of the game to the point where it's like, it's not even a bit of shithousery. It's like, I don't even think anybody knows what day it is anymore. It's just like, I'll just go down. Everybody go down all the time. It's getting crazy. AO says, why are refs never banned, fined or suspended for their highly regular amounts of in-game corruption? Red card, that, says AO. I agree, AO. However, they do get banned, don't they? They do get moved down. If they make absolute clangers, they will pull them out of the Premier League for 2-3 weeks, sometimes months on end. I also think there's a problem, AO, because they don't have any. I think the standard is so poor and nobody wants to be a referee because, you know, the gimps, aren't they, ultimately? And I know a few referees, and Top Lad play football with a referee on a Wednesday night, and he's a lovely, lovely man. He's my favourite down there. So I'm only playing with that. But he's obviously not a Premier League referee. I just think they're under intense pressure, and it's difficult. It's an unbelievably difficult job, isn't it? But they're not helping themselves by not being strong and just saying, look, I fucked up. You know, because do you remember the days when they tried to get them to come out in the press conferences and actually, like, they do an interview as well and talk and say, well, I saw this way. I don't think anybody would have a problem with it. Just the same as if you did have a problem with it and you got Raji about it. It's like, well, at least he's explained himself. I'd be able to then say to the West Ham fan who's going mental, I'd go, well, yeah, but to be fair to ref, he came out and he said it this. And then he said, well, you know, looking back at it, I got it wrong, but, you know, I saw it like this. You know, and they've got VAR now, so really they could speak out and say, I saw it this way, and then, you know, I went to VAR. And it's not a case of passing blame, but I don't know. Brett, why can't they have someone watching the refs' games from the sideline And if he gets two big decisions wrong, he gets subbed off. Talk about corruption though, Brett. That'd go into the wild side of corruption though, wouldn't it? And that, you know, because if you're subbing the ref off for a couple of bad decisions, that applies even more pressure to them. The ridicule that they'd receive. It's a tasty idea, Brett, but I don't know if it'd help. One got took off duty the other week who refereed the mags. Yeah, it happens all the time, Brett. Are you dyslexic, Jack? It was 57%, not what you read. I don't know, Roger Slick. I don't think I'm dyslexic, but I've never asked. PS, that applies to the officials who oversee VAR too. They are getting away with far too much corruption. Red card, that too. They all need sending off, mate. Each manager should get a red, shouldn't it, to dish out. FA Cup, let's go on a run, says all boxed up. It's winnable if the draw falls right, and you know it, mate. At the very worst, it's a good fucking day out, innit? You know, let's get to Wembley, boys. Let's have some fun. Joe Depp, FA Cup is still a massive deal. I'll take it to be smiling all year. Absolutely, Joe Depp. It'd be sensational. You know, it's unbelievable and it can happen. I'm not away with the fairies. You've just got to get away with it. Get away with a bit of a decent run. War Piglet, they can't pick and choose, laddie. Carpe diem, War Piglet. Love it, mate. Need to be. I used to DJ I used to perform in a place called Carpe Diem, so I need to check what it means. Used to urge someone to make the most of the present time and give little thought to the future. Carpe diem, War Piglet, and you know it. JB Leeds, honestly, we keep playing like that versus Sunderland. It's over now, mate. But JB Leeds, let's wait. Surely. I agree. If we keep getting beat, we're going to go down, aren't we, brother? But I don't think we are going to keep getting beat, so I don't think we're going to go down, brother. But if in 4 games we've been beat, I mean, I think it's Farke to the end of the season now. I think you've just got to go with it. You got to take your time. You got to say what they say, even though Oasis are overrated. Oasis are more overrated than Farke. Brett, that's surprising. If we lose 4 more games, we're up against it. It's huge. It's massive. It's bigger than that. It's large. But, you know, until we do that, I am not going to start pissing the bed, you know, more often than I do so. Think he had a dodgy game before the first, that as well. I can't remember. I saw the same ref with our Man City game, and I can't remember the game. Was it Newcastle Man United? And I thought he was a bit all over the shop with that. Yes, Alan Clark, what's good, my man? Looking forward to the FA Cup game on Sunday. Pressure off and time for other players to shine. Yes, indeed, Alan Clark. I agree, my brother. And also, in a scenario where we've not, you know, we have lost 2 on the bounce. You know, we are in the hottest form. There is question marks among some of the squad players. So there's an opportunity for the squad players to come on, show them what they got, and then, you know, put themselves in Farke's thoughts for the ongoing games. You know, the push towards the end of the season. Farke spoke about the last 6 games being the crunch time of the season, which is obviously true. Sort of wherever you are in the league, you know, they're not the most important games, but you literally every 3 points is important as the last, next, future, present. But you know exactly where you are, don't you? 6 games to go, and you know basically how many points precisely you need. And it might be the case with 6 games to go, we might need 9 points. You know, who knows? I doubt that though. I do doubt that. I don't think who've the shit's got. West Ham have got City. Now, I know City have just drawn with Forest, but that being said, that's going to put a thorn up Man City's arse, isn't it? So they're going to have to go for it. And then they've got Villa, who aren't in great form, but yet again, if they want to have anything to do with Champions League, they need to start winning games, don't they? So whether they did well against Fulham or not is irrelevant. They are 2 difficult games. Whether Forest did well to City, irrelevant. Also, it's worth mentioning when Forest played Wolves, we presumed they would beat Wolves. Now, off the absolute top of my head, I can't remember if they lost that game, but I think they did they? Or was it a draw? Wolves Forest. I can't remember exactly. 3rd of December, they got beat. 11th of February, they drew 0-0. And we thought that'd be a 3-pointer. So they drew to Man City. They lost I want to say they lost to Liverpool. Yes, they lost 1-0 to Liverpool. So they're actually, we thought they'd get 4 points out of 9, and they got 2. So they're actually in a worse position than we anticipated they would be. We've obviously got Palace and then Brentford. 2 difficult games. 2 winnable games. Julian Airy, feeling better today. Bonus from me and Mr. War Piglet. Appreciate you, Julian Airy. You're my nearest and dearest, Julie. We love you. So thank you, Julie. Shout out to Hummers11 and Julian Airy and Mr. War Piglet. And you know it if you don't know by now. You never knew. Smash a like for us, guys. We've got 45 in room, but only 36 likes. Make Julie's day by smashing a like. Appreciate you, Julie. You're lovely. I'm glad you're feeling better as well, my dear, because you had to get you sent to bed last night, didn't you? So I hope War Piglet's looking after you as well, like the man he is. Shout out to Julian Airy. Refs get away with it every week, and not every week refs are held to account. Or a red card. They do get brushed under. Most people don't know who they are as well, do they? You recognise the face or whatever, but you don't know their names, do you? So I just recognise them and go, fucking hell. But I don't really recognise them and go, oh, this is going to be a shit game. Some of my mates do, that being said. Some of them are like, it's fucking Darren Ambrose. Not Darren Ambrose, I don't know where he came from, but Darren Ambrose on this weekend, innit? And I'm like, I don't know who he is. And then I see face and I go, oh, fucking hell. Hey, I would have had more respect for Farke if he had given the ref a stone cold stunner. It's a stone cold stunner. I know you are, mate. We appreciate you, JB. We're all in, brother. It's all love, my brother. Why do we always assume pushing a pineapple has sexual connotations? Because if a pineapple's in my house, it's getting misused, Roger Slicker. JB Lees, just feel Farke is reverting back to his old ways, and I'm starting to not trust he can do... I'm starting to not trust him. Can we trust him, Jack? Let's pull it up. FA Cup 80% says an FA Cup run does not end in relegation. Yeet up. Can we trust the doctor to get us over the line this season? Whether or not people think he should be higher or doing a better job or whatever, if you try and leave that at the door, the question is, can we trust him to get us over the line this season? Jack, your ad count is going off the charts. Lock it the fuck up. SST, I'm not in control of it, my brother. I don't know if it's just because I'm going live more often or I'm putting more hours in the day. I don't know, big man. I don't know how it works this stuff out, so apologies, SST, but just know you're helping a brother out with them ads. Just know. Brett, I'm saying the FA Cup doesn't end in relegation unless you're Wigan. I want my team full strength on Sunday as there's 5 days till next game, and that is more than enough to recover, isn't it? That being said, let me check. 8th to 15th, so we've got a full week. So there's no excuse. A full week, let's have it. Jack, I'd rather have you instead of Gruev. Well, JB, I'm not sure if that's a compliment, but if I'm honest, with the level that Gruev plays at, I certainly will take it as a compliment, whether it was a diss or not. Bigger diss to Gruev, evidently, but can't be a negative towards me in reality because Gruev is a professional footballer. And, you know, you got to leave the football before it leaves you, haven't you? Hey, we haven't got a big enough team to go for a cup run and fight relegation. The team are struggling with injuries and the players are knackered. As it is. Context. There's only Okafor injured, isn't there? Only Okafor out. Everybody else is either coming back or back, well, as in, you know, coming back to full fitness, i.e. Dan James, or back to full fitness, which, i.e. Dan James, could potentially be back to full fitness. It's an opportunity to get Nonto some minutes, opportunity to get Tanaka some minutes, opportunity to get Longstaff some minutes, opportunity to get Biol some minutes, an opportunity to get Mecha some minutes, and it's an opportunity to get Cornetto some minutes. It's an opportunity to have a look at Cornetto as well. An opportunity to get my man Byram some minutes, just in case we need him towards the end of the season. That was a joke if anybody goes mental. Dave Marwood, disappointment of Sunderland game is gone now. Yes, Dave Marwood. Move on to Norwich and get back to winning ways. Love it, Dave Marwood. I think we will regroup after the recent madness and get the business done in the league to stay up. Dave Marwood dropping bombs, brother. I agree, my man. You know, to be fair as well, you know, we've shown, having had poor performances, that we can pull shit out of the bag and bounce back. So I'm here for it. I believe in leaders like Ampadu. I believe in Farke to, keep a steady head and everybody go, look, ultimately, everybody's banging on. Everybody's on about the Premier League and the teams below us and how much better they are than us. They are below us in the league after the same amount of games. Apart from Wolves, who have played one more game than us. We are all on 29 points and we are top of the shits. If the game is 15th to 20th, we are top of the league. We are top of the league, 15 to 20. If we finish 15th, it's been an all right season. I think catching Brighton, Palace, Newcastle, Sunderland is gone now. 9 points away from Sunderland's one too many, two too many, probably three too many. Chance for catching Brighton, 6 points away from them, but again, unlikely. And they can just beat everybody now, I don't care. I said it about Palace last night with Tottenham. You just don't want anybody overtaking you now. As long as we stay 15th, as long as we stay top of our little league, we've stayed up, flying colours. Not all three of them can catch us. That's all I'm saying. Not all three of them can catch us. They can't all go on a run when all three of them catch us. I just can't see it. Not all three. At least one will remain wobbly. Rather Leeds sign you, Jack, for 10 million than that useless Sunday League player from the back arse of nowhere, says JB. Again, I'm not seeing it particularly as a compliment, JB. I've got to say also, I would move for a lot cheaper than 10 million because I don't know who they'd be buying me off. I currently only play six-a-side in what would be a friendly group of friends for the most part. So I will... Don't worry about the transfer fee, JB. I'm there if needed. I think you'll beat Norwich, but I don't think it'll be easy, says Brett. These games are easy, are they, man? And it might have to show a little bit of courage. But I think at home, to be fair, I trust us to get the job done. Richard Todd, 50 years as a Leeds supporter, but really struggled this week to consume anything Leeds. I've seen just about everything with fucking club I love. But back on the horse now, let's fucking go. Yes, Richard Todd. It's hard, big man, innit? You take your defeat, you take your medicine, you get your shit. You duck out of conversations a little bit. And then when you're back with an attack. And you know it, my mate. Roger Sticker, it's not just Leeds fans moaning about cheating and time wasting. It's a growing bunch of other like-minded fans. Exactly, Roger Slicker. That is precisely my point, my G. I'm going to start saying my G, by the way. I honestly agree, my G. That's why the league are going to have to do something about it. Because nobody wants to watch these games. I am invested in the Leeds United games, and that's it. I've done the watch-alongs, and I can't be fucking ass watching them. Thank God I'm doing the watch-alongs. Traditionally, I'd have just watched the game and not, just monged out, cock in hand and relaxed and watched the game. Not that I have my cock in mind when I'm watching men play football, but regardless, whatever floats your boat. But I thought we'll do a few watch-alongs and then end up just chatting beans because there's no happening. It's boring. And then there's the odd little moment of brilliance. Like if you're watching Chelsea and Palmer don't turn up, no happens, does it? Or Gadger upstairs, up front that can't stop scoring. There's like moments of brilliance, But other than that, that's about it. No happens. It's just shit boring football. 7 league wins all season is piss poor. And should we survive this season, we need a player clear out in the summer. Yet again, AO, though, I would say, no solutions there. I mean, Tottenham have only won 7, Forest have only won 7, and West Ham have only won 7. We've drawn 3 more games than all but Tottenham. Bournemouth are in 9th, have only won 9 games. So if our Brighton, who are in 14th, have only won 9 games. Sunderland, who are apparently having a brilliant season, have won 10 games. So if ours is piss poor and Bournemouth are 9th with 9 wins, what does that make Bournemouth's season? Would 9 wins out of 29 not be piss poor? But 7 league wins is. Context, AO. You were after context earlier. Farke dancing with the fans with a bevy. You'd love to see it, wouldn't you all, Piglet? And you know it. I haven't a problem with the starting 11 ever. More concerned with what we play and how we play it. That's where I'm at, Joe Depp. That's why when there's a lack of intensity and stuff like there was against Sunderland, and there was an inability to, get the tempo going and get the game going and get Sunderland moved about and actually cause them some issues rather than just pumping it forward and doing things consecutively that weren't working and didn't really have this in-game plan B, where you think, right, this isn't working. Let's get on the ball. Let's move it quicker rather than taking a quick throw as though we're like trying to get the momentum up and then nobody being ready on the pitch. It's like you have to be ready to go, don't you, at all moments. It's all about the players for me, Joe Depp, especially when you've been on a good run. If we'd been on a shit run, like a really shit run, for 10 games, and he's still picking the same 11, I'd be like, why are we not looking at other stuff? But you have to back the players that have currently done him a good job. Do you think we'll play a long staff or stick with short staff, Gruev, JackCity? If you're talking about Sunday, I think we'll go long staff on Sunday. I think he'll drop Gruev on Sunday. Not that it'd be like dropping, because it won't be the case that he's dropped him, but I don't think, you know what I'm saying, it'll be rotation, won't it? But long term, to be honest, JackCity, I don't think had it been for Longstaff's injury, I don't ever think he comes out outside, really. I think the ideal midfield in a 3 is, because even when everybody bangs on about 5-3-1 or whatever, 5-3-2, sorry, or 3-5-2 or whatever, everybody bangs on about all these different formations and 5 at back, 2 in middle, whatever, 3 up top, out. It becomes, it's all them things. Every single formation we go through, pick your numbers and then go forward. Longstaff and Ampadu would do what Gruev and Ampadu are doing. That would be the ideal. And then Stack can get on with Aronson around DCL, because that's what's been happening. So in essence, it's a 5-2-3. When we're on the ball. When we're off the ball, Stack gets back in, Aronson gets back in, and it's 4 across the middle, isn't it? They're quite narrow. That's what we lacked against Sunderland. That's why when Nonto and James came on, they were in wide areas. They were able to hurt the wing backs. They were able to get at Sunderland a little bit, and then we sort of failed to give them the ball. We went back into like autopilot. He brought the subs on, they'd made the changes, and then we wasn't utilising them. FA Cup run and league survival are not mutually exclusive, says SST. We need to start winning. Perfect low risk opportunity. Slam the Canaries. Appreciate you, SST. Could not agree more, my brother. Settling for too many mundane draws could come back to bite us on the arse, and Joe Depp's on board with that. I disagree, as I think it's the reason why we're currently 15th and not in the relegation zone, or not in Tottenham's position, or not in Notts Forest's position. And it's the draws that have got us there ultimately right now. Dave Marwood, 100% Richardson's Todd. Keep the faith. Expectations by some supporters are mental. It's all about stability and building a good foundation. And if we get through this patch, and we win a couple, if we win our next 2 games, we're not in any danger, I do believe. And then we're suddenly settled again. We should be a little bit further away from it. I agree. I don't think we should be in this position. And again, I've just had a go. Well, not had a go at Roger Slicker for the draws. But you turn a couple of them draws into wins. I agree. You're well away from it. Or you've won as many games as Brentford have. Sorry, Bournemouth. Yeah. Burnley, Wolves, and Cockwombles to drop. Leeds to play the Gooners in the final. Oh fuck! Gates up, Dazzler 15. Love it. I think that is what will go as well. I mean, providing as long as Somerville chills out. I just don't think it'll be us. I don't think all 3 teams get more points than us. Is anyone else shitting their pants for the Crystal Palace game? Well, we smashed them at our place, didn't we? Like, absolutely clapped them up. You don't want away games, that being said. But that being said, it might not be a bad shout to fresh start. Get your back up, get a good crowd down there, which they will do. They always do. And, make that face at them, dog, and get at them. But we did smash them at our gaff, but, they've obviously just battered Tottenham, who are... I watched that game last night, and they are poor. Roger Slicker, they should follow rugby and have a stopwatch clock watcher and time out cheaters, injuries, and add them on to the total time. But the problem is, that is the next poll layer, without a shadow of a doubt. The problem is, Roger, then you get pundits like Gary Neville and stuff that say when you're dragging players off, when Howard Webb wanted to bring them off for a minute or 30 seconds minimum or whatever it was, the rule that he wanted to do, they won't let him do it. So Gary Neville goes on and he goes on about how it's not looking after the players and all that stuff. And then the whole league bottles it. And in reality, if you've gone down injured, like I said the other day, if you've gone down injured and you are allegedly hurt, you should be hurt. It's either about player welfare or it's about the game of football. If it's about the game of football, fuck the player and just leave him there with his leg hanging off and carry the game on. Don't stop the game. If the player wants the game stopped, the player has to accept that in order to look after the player, you need to stand at the side of the pitch and I need to have a good old look at this little bump on your ankle, my mate. And we need to make sure for one whole minute that bump on your ankle is not going to be, life-threatening. And then after a minute, when I've decided it's not life-threatening, you can re-enter the field. if you get a bump in the tackle and you look down and think, I don't think that's life-threatening. Why don't I get up, jog about, get moving, get on ball, get my adrenaline pumping again, realise I'm not a little bitch and go, yeah, that doesn't hurt actually, let's play. Then he doesn't have to come off for a minute, does he? This is the poll of all polls. Can we trust the doctor to get us over the line? 78% say yes. 22% say no, let's have it. Now, the most important poll of the day, who's more overrated? Dr. Farke. Dr. Farke. Or Oasis. The Lizards. All boxed up. Can anyone explain to me where the specific rule to make throw-ins quicker to prevent time added on disappeared to? Throw-ins corrupt the game with wiping the ball, long throw time wasting. Yes, indeed, all boxed up. It's been a guise as well where, they go on, because that's become part of the game. We now have to wait, indefinitely for these long throws to come in. I don't actually think we're bad at it. And I saw a stat the other day, and I think we're like top of the league in terms of ball in play, which is pretty mint, really. So I don't think Farke's people want him to be more about the shithousery, to be fair. Tell you, watching the Wolves versus Liverpool game, Wolves is not an easy game for anyone, says Brett. Liverpool are shit out there, but they are 2-0 up, that being said. So I don't know I think they've just banged in 2 goals in 4 minutes there, Brett. So that might come back to haunt you by the time I get there. Stinky Dinky, yes indeed. That's, to be fair, that's all Christmas presents, mate. I haven't been to flannels this year. Emma Oliver, I've backed Farke all season and I will continue to get behind Farke and the lads till the end of the season. We will stay up, but we need an upgrade on Farke in the summer. Fair enough, Emma Oliver. I think it'd be interesting to see how we finish the season. I think if he comes on to a decent finish and we do pick up 9, 12 points that next 10 games, which I don't think is too ludicrous. I think he gets majority of fans back on board with him and you just think give him a few more tools and we're flying. But I do think it does depend on how we finish the season now, really. But if he keeps us up and he's solid, he'll have my respect. That is for sure. I'm shitting my pants on Leeds' next 9 remaining games. 4 home, 5 away. Getting a draw could be pivotal in us losing our stay in the Prem. Andy really worried about these draws. How delightful is the Spurs meltdown? It's the chef's kiss, Mingy, and you know it. By the time you've read my comment, I'll probably be into my second dream. I am quite far behind. If Farke keeps us up, do we change manager or stick with Farke for another season? Let's have a look. I'm delighted to say 71% have said Oasis are more overrated than Dr. Farke, which is awesome because I thought I'd get shit from the Oasis fans there because everybody seems to love them and I think they're bog standard. Do we keep Farke if he keeps us up? Got to roll with it. I keep looking back on the massive amount of drop points earlier in the season. We will stay up by the skins of our ass. On the skin of your ass, big man. Imagery through the roof as well. I appreciate you, Cletus. Yeah, I remember in the Championship, I think it was West Brom. And I think it was that was the first year. And we turned up and we did not play the way I wanted us to. And, again, nobody ever says I say it about Farke. And I thought he went to their place for a draw. And we didn't go up that season, and I thought, everybody's looking towards end of the season and going, these are the games, oh no, but no, and I get it that it's crunch time and that, you know exactly where you're at. But when you're in the Championship and you're clearly the best side in the Championship, don't be fucking hanging around, let's go and win every single game. Go try win every game and then you might lose odd one. I think it's different now in the Prem, where we can't go to try win you go to try and win every game, but you take your draw when you get your draw. Am I a bit uneven here, boys? We can make a bit more at room here, can't we, I think? Get that Leeds. Get the scarf. Can't remember what scarf's called. Ming, I think Spurs' incompetence will save us. I'm hoping. I'd love it if they go down. I don't want to get picky at this point, but it'd be fucking amazing, wouldn't it, Joe Depp? Faith gets tested so you know it's true. Faith says SST. It's a lovely, lovely line. I believe Farke will do it. The man's first season was a pig's breakfast and he nearly got us promoted. Yes, indeed, SST. Nobody ever talks about the stability he gave us when everybody were bailing and jumping ship And even in the second season, you know, he lost all his big hitters and he'd no panic in the man and we just plodded along. It will, but we won't need it, says my man Mingy. Man City docked 115 points and go down with Burnley and Wolves. We live in hope, but we all know it would be unbelievably hard matching on together. It's a compliment, says Joe Depp. Salute, appreciate you, man. I pay for YouTube, don't get ads, full stop. Not even on live streams. Brett, not messing about with that whatsoever. Can we trust Farke to get us over the line? No, but I'm hoping he can keep us up. Similar thing. Horses for courses. Be a reap mint story if Sam won a medal. And you know it, War Piglet. Signing out on a fucking FA Cup. Although I don't know if he'd get given one. I don't know if you've got how many games you've got to play or whatever. I don't know if that comes into it or it's just the whole squad. Roger Slicker says Cornetto has a 99% chance of playing on Sunday. Some think he's a flake. Yes, indeed, it's funny stuff. 20 votes say 65% Farke can keep us up. Do we keep Farke? I've not even phrased it right. 65% say yes. I don't know if people know. Yes, Sunderland fan. Brett, you've got a brother. There's a Sunderland fan here in peace. He's probably pissed off by now because I'm obviously behind. You are still more than capable of staying up. However, Farke needs to lose the negative defensive setup and go for the win, like Forest and the Hammers. We're higher than them teams, though. SAFC Joels. So I'm reluctant. I don't think we're setting up defensively. I think if Gruev comes out of that side, I don't think anybody suggests we're setting up defensively. It's just Gruev that's sending everybody into this fucking mindless defensive setup. It's mad. And they don't, you know, like people like James Justin, who you're literally playing a right back in the centre back area so that he can bomb forward with Bogle and allowing Bogle to cut inside, get in the middle of the pitch and drive with the ball, his best area, where he drives across towards like the 18-yard box and James Justin's either going down by the side of him. James Justin's picked up a few goals this season. You know, if you put Biol in there and take Gruev out, everybody then thinks we're not defensive, and we're more defensive at the back and less defensive in midfield. It's just the yin and the yang. Take back what I said about Wolves. Yes, Brett. Yeah, they've capitulated, haven't they, my boy? There's two here. We're getting more. There's more fucking Sunderland fans in here than Leeds fans. Matthew Orr, West Ham have a tough run and Spurs have fallen off a cliff. 3 wins and 2 draws and we are more than safe. Love it, Matthew Orr. I truly, truly agree with you, my brother. There's only one of me, Joe Depp, says Brett. Hey up, Harley. What's good, my man? Can see us having a proper good run in FA Cup. No two ways about it. But if we didn't get far, who gives the monkeys? The FA's got something against Dr. Farke. I'm telling you. I'm on board with it, Harley. I'm on board with it. Ayo says, I think Cornetto is another injury train wreck, right, like Ramazani and Bamford. And that's why Farke isn't playing him. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure it's all right at home, really, with Cornetto. But Farke mentioned him today and said that, you know, he's got a good attitude and that, and he's always turning up with a smile on his face. And Farke's often talking about his what he wants from, you know, in terms of squad harmony and that. And, you know, again, it's a good place to build from. You don't want egos in there and dick slaps. We're not at that level. You're not having to deal with the Cristiano Ronaldo's moaning being on bench. That's not the stage we're at. It's really not. You have to be at a level, you know, where if you're not good for the side, you're not playing in the team. It's like you might be brilliant on ball. You might have some wonderful flicks and look the dog's bollocks for 4 minutes in a game. But unless you're goaling out and goal and assist is, you know, one every two games, then it's not worth having you in there because you're losing ball more than you're doing out with it. Appreciate you, Harley. I've always proper vibed with content on this channel. Honest, I absolutely love it. It's reet good stuff, and I'm always watching. That's built a proper belter of a channel there, lad. Oh, Harley. Shout out to Harley, man. What a lovely comment, my brother. By the way, did they happen to know when Just Joe might be back? Been wondering where he's got to. Would be grand to see him popping up again. Keep grafting, lad. That's doing a cracking job. Appreciate you, Harley. Absolute legend, mate. Everybody smash a like for Harley. It'll make him happy. And me and moi. Try to get these likes up to 100 per video. I'm already on 45 here, but it's been a bit quiet on it today, maybe. Everybody's watching Liverpool smash Wolves up. But, Harley, I don't want to talk too much about when Joe's back or what he's doing, but I know that I speak to him often enough to know when he does get back, he's coming back with a vengeance. So he's not coming back to take part. He's coming back to take over. So in Joe Wainman, we believe, he's the goat at this shit. So when he's back, you'll know he's back, Ali. You'll know he's back. So he'll be back with the Big Bang, with the Big Bang Theory. Roger Slicker, Farke's our sheep herder. Good luck getting those temperamental buggers over that line. Roger Slicker with the cryptic messages. I didn't really get it. Richard Todd, the big question, be all or not to be all, is just coincidence that results have dropped since he's not been in the starting 11. Off the top of my head, to be fair, I can't remember when he came out of the starting 11. He wasn't in there for Man City. I just think it's a case that James Justin's kept his place, isn't it? He wasn't in there for Villa. Ignore the Birmingham game. Chelsea, was he there? He was in there for Chelsea, but we had an injury there, or somebody was suspended because Struick's not there and it's Ball now. So I'm not taking that as being dropped from there. Notts Forest, he's not in there, but we beat Notts Forest, worth remembering. So I don't know if it is a case where we've dropped off because he's not there. He's not there against Arsenal, but you know what, that is what it is. Not better to them. Everton, it's Ball now. Did Stack get injured? I can't remember. Sorry, Struick. Yeah, he's not, to be fair, yeah, going back to Fulham. Again, we won that game, but he's not in that side either. So he's not, I didn't realise he'd not started for this long, really. He's in there against Newcastle, which, ironically, we lost that game away from home, but... Here's a good question, Richard Todd. Does Tanaka play Sunday? I think so. Let's go. Does Cornetto play? Does Cornetto play Sunday? And then we'll do Tanaka. I believe both of them do. Don't know, Ali. Joe hasn't been the same and he's still recovering from his run in with Andy on live streams, on Jack's live streams. God forbid we George Bush Sunday, especially with virtually a team not okay for playing with each other. Not au fair. Stinky Dinky did worry when Okafor got injured. He was starting to become what we signed him for. Yes, indeed, Stinky Dinky. This is a good shout. I underestimated the value of not of losing Okafor, but when he got injured, I thought we'd be all right because I thought, but he had started to put himself about and that, ironically, and then he gets his injury. We definitely missed him against Sunderland. It'd have been his type of game where you get him on ball, let him go at players, beat someone, be positive, and like I've said before, and if you fuck it up, you fuck it up. We've got to get over it. We've got to move on. He's about that, and he's a big timer, isn't he? And it's in a good way. And I think he's obviously Farke mentions his attitude as well, and he's had really high words about Farke as Okafor. So there's clearly a decent relationship there, and he has definitely put it in more up until his injury. So it would be good to get him back for these final games. That's for sure, Stinky. They got up plan going forward. Which channel? Any new ideas brewing? Because whatever that's got in mind, I'll be right on board with it, mate. That knows I love to channel on channel. Appreciate you, Harley. We've got no plan, mate. You know me. Just more lives, more shit vids, and we've got BMG's podcast coming up that I want to do, the live 11s that we've done over the past few months. Interviews, we want to get Matt Leeds back on. I want to see if I can get Lockie back on. See if I can get Joe to jump on with me for 10 minutes. That'd be funny. See what Big Luke's doing. Luke the Bruiser. Yes, Mark Bradley, what's good, my brother? Smash a like for Mark Bradley, everybody. The boyos in the building. Last World Cup in America, they brought on a stretcher and ambulance to hurry the game up and stop time wasting. I don't remember that, to be fair. I just look about. I can't imagine bringing an ambulance on would speed the game up. I kind of feel like it'd slow it down. Oasis, obviously, but you got to roll with it and you know it. AO's on board with the Oasis are the most overrated band ever. I agree. We did the overrated players last night, didn't we? And they'd have the soundtrack for the most overrated football team, wouldn't they? You got to roll with it. You gotta take your time. You gotta say what you say. Change the rules, says Richard Todd. If you go down injured and the ref stops the game, then make the players stop off for 5 minutes. Watch the change and approach from the players, Jack. This is exactly right, Richard Todd. You don't even have to go to the extreme of 5 minutes. That's what we were saying. 30 seconds a minute minimum. It's like, no, minimum. I want to see you stood up, and I want to see you I want to see some knee ups and some ass flicks, and then ref goes, yeah, you look all right to me. Player safety always comes first. Remember it, Richard. Too many fake injuries. People crying wolf could prove detrimental to a serious injury. Well, that is shit is as shit does though, Roger Slicker. That's what I'm saying. That's why you need to look after the players' welfare and get them off the pitch and make sure they're all right. Jack's putting words in my mouth, says Joe Depp. What have I done, Joe Depp? What in terms of what, my old mucker? Mr. Whitesnake dropping some bombs here. Fucking hell. May I take the liberty to remind people that any side on any given day, I've added a word there, sorry, on any given day can win, lose or draw a game. There are no easy games, nor games we should win. There are, however, games that are there for the taking. Mr. Whitesnake is dropped in late into the live stream just to drop that chef's kiss, that je ne sais quoi, that c'est la vie, that fucking carpe diem. My guy, Mr. Whitesnake. All boxed up, I pay for premium YouTube. I couldn't stand the fucking ads, so I chose to get rid of them. Make sure I can enjoy Jack's channel without interference. All boxed up, my dude! Against my better judgment, yes, I think the 49ers will give Farke a new contract if we stay up. Lovely stuff, Danger, danger. Cornetto has been voted to play on Sunday. I'm hoping everybody in the chat knows who we mean by Cornetto. Does Tanaka start Sunday? We're Polish, it's up here. Jack, while we'll be having a Horlicks and Coco, you'll be off to work. You know it, Roger Slicker. Yeah, I've got to set off in about 25 minutes, so I need to go in a sec, guys. I need to get in the shower and that. Shower, shit and a shave, but I probably won't have time for a shave because I can never be arsed. Bipolar gave away that pen in it. Be all not bipolar. Yeah, it was a Chelsea game, wasn't it? Congratulations, Mr. Whitesnake. Reached 250 subscribers today. Let's get him to 300. Is Mr. Whitesnake only at 250? Let's get Mr. Whitesnake right up. He deserves way more than that. George McPherson, Tanaka better play or else it will be unforgivable. He'll play. Do not fear. 14 votes immediately. 100%. Has Cornetto got any siblings or is it just one Cornetto? Give it to me. 46 like, guys. Like it on your way out. JB, Jack, it's down to 3 points. It is worrying that, though, mate. It ain't been like this, but it's hard being so positive when Farke plays the same team twice in a week. That's poor. Stay loose, my dude, JB. We're gonna nurse you all the way through this to the end of the season, my dog. We're gonna be all right, my G. If anybody's just joined, I'm gonna start saying my G. By the way, now it's my new lingo, my G. Live 11s be good with BMG, and you know it, Mr. Whitesnake. SST, our season is now like a match where we look to be flagging around 60 minutes. The boys have to dig deep. We have to help them. It's that simple. If you're not with us, you're against us, SST. Dropping bombs, brother. I actually agree. You know, we are looking to, you know, that it's getting hard to get to the end of games with us a little bit, isn't it? But we're still throwing everything at the kitchen sink. Everything but the kitchen sink at it, I would say. I still think we did against Sunderland. Just we were largely ineffective. But, you know, goals change games. We need DCL to turn up, don't we? Get a couple of goals. We need Aronson to get a goal. Stack's done his bit with free kick a couple of weeks ago in sort of recent history, you know, like in your recent memory. Need a couple of moments like that. You know, Aronson to go through on goal and bag. DCL to get a couple of tap-ins. And then we're back on that. You know, we're back in the ascendancy out. We just need a couple of things to happen for us. Mr. Whitesnake, let me take over the time-wasting problem. I'd give out yellow and red card faster than condoms at a hookers convention. My kind of guy, my kind of place, my kind of ladies, and my kind of results, both on and off the field. Love it, Mr. Whitesnake. Would sin binning in football work? Works in six-a-side, mate, kinda. You two are the second most overrated band ever, behind Oasis, and that's my controversial comment of the day. I'm happy to get behind that, AO. I'm more than happy to get behind that. Mark Bradley, thing is getting rid of Farke. Who the hell do people think we get? Nobody that wants him out ever comes up with any names. No, they don't, Mark Bradley. My dude. It's easy to be players out, player out, manager out, chairman out, fan base out. You know, it's Ramazani out. I'm not sure how true that is, Roger Slicker. The counselling's coming, JB. That's why we're here, mate. That's why we're dropping. It's the only reason we're here. Or come up with donkeys, Mark Bradley. Jack, I want an autograph. Who from, JB? AO says Klopp, Klinsmann, Lowe and Alonso would be great replacements for Farke. Enough said. Not a single one of them would come to the club. Jurgen Klopp coming to the club, AO. I appreciate your, what would be the word? I appreciate your enthusiasm. But Klopp, Klinsmann, Lowe and Alonso, it rhymes, but they don't want it. Spurs' new manager won't last long. The bounce factor has rebounded. It doesn't work anymore, does it, the bounce? This bounce is bollocks, innit? I'm always available for them signatures, JB. I don't know if you're on wind up again. You try to get me that £10 million contract, aren't you? You know, the end of season signing, and I'm a free agent. Get me in. Appreciate you, JB. Ange to be Spurs' next manager. Yes, indeed, Mr. Whitesnake. They're going to run out of options, aren't they? Pay top dollar or my finest pound coin. I'll sign, honestly. Just give me whoever's paid lowest at the club. Give me that, and I'm there. And I promise you, you'll get 110% out of me every week. I'm going to have to hit the gym, though. Get fit. It's perhaps a little bit of a step up from the standard I've been playing at my entire life. So I think there would be... there's an opportunity there. I'm never ruling it out. There's an opportunity there. You know, I've been waiting for Dr. Farke to... It's mainly Parag I'm waiting for the phone call off, because he's obviously the guy that steps in with these things. Money talks, AO, and I've got a price. I'm not telling you what it is, but I do have a price. And the 49ers can throw money at top managers to come to Ellen Road. Not the top managers, though, AO. They aren't coming. There's no money in the world that they won't get elsewhere. The bouncers all boxed up. Can get anyone in, but doesn't matter after the shower of shit they have on the playing staff. It's all about the players all boxed up. It's so important, isn't it? And then when you do have a good group of lads, obviously then you need the management, you know, to be on absolute fine fettle. But they're all at a certain standard out of the managers. You know, even Andrew, I think, is pony and overrated. You know, is at a standard, in he that Tottenham last season should have performed better in the league. It's a joke, really. On my footy manager game, I'm managing Blythe Spartans. Can have you there, lol. I'm in. Don't have a clue where it is. Let me have a look. Blythe Spartans, AFC. A football team in Northumberland. In fact, I think I drive past this every fucking day. There's a Blythe Services that I stop at. Or no, I stop at the one after it, actually. It's good to know on my way back, so I'm about an hour away from home. Yes, indeed, JB Leeds. Thank you, dude. Good night, Jack. Yes, Richard Todd. Appreciate you, brother. I have the granddaughter stopping tonight, but genuinely thanks for the pick-me-up, mate. Marched on to the quarterfinals. Here we come. Appreciate you, Richard Todd. You're a legend, my mate. Mark Bradley with the big names. Big Ange. Probably Potter's in and out, but I'd take a bit of Potter, to be fair. I don't mind him. As long as you don't mean Fat Frank with that. I'd never want Sean Dyche, Mark Bradley. Cheers, AO. Appreciate you, man. Shout out JB. Shout out Richard Todd. Shout out Mark Bradley. Shout out All Boxed Up. Shout out AO. Shout out Mr. Whitesnake. Roger Slicker. Enow, I've not seen, but he might be in the wings. SST. George McPherson. My man Ming. The War Piglet. Mimi Rollerblunt, who have not been in, but MVG, who's not been in, but the MVG for the Super Chat last night. Shout out to Hummers11 for the Super Chat earlier on, and shout out to Julian Airy for the super chat. You're all the West Coast Warlords. If you don't know by now, you never knew. Shout out to my man Gomez gang. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to Joe Depp. Shout out to Tim Flowers. Shout out to Brett. There's all a load of you. Appreciate every which one of you. If you can smash us a like on the way out. And you know it, Mark Bradley. Appreciate you, brother. Honestly. Thank you all boxed up. I really appreciate you, man, honestly. More than you'd ever know. So take it easy, everybody. Go follow Mr. Whitesnake as well. He's a top lad. He deserves more than 250. Take it easy, Joe. Take it easy, Dave Marwood, my guy. When's the premiere of the bin video? Got to get it sorted, haven't we? Get up. I'm taking my Island Spring and I'm out of here. Take it easy. Fucking Sunday. Splatter 'em.
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is.
Boom.